Good afternoon, Art Fundamental students. This is Mr. Magaro and my assistant student, Miss Lulu. Today we're going to talk about abstract expressionism and how it's a very viable type of artwork that you guys can make yourselves, even at home, even with no materials. But first we're going to show you how to make abstract expressionism with regular acrylic paint and a canvas. And we're going to talk a little bit about why abstract expressionism is so popular and such an easy medium to really get into. So Jackson Pollock was one of the first abstract expressionist painters, and he actually was coined as the first abstract expressionist painter, as you might have read in some of the readings I sent you. The main form of abstract expressionism is really called action painting, which is the act of an artist using paint to express their body's gestures as they move with the paint. The paintings themselves generally are more about the action of the painting itself than the actual finished product of the painting. If you look at this abstract expressionist painting I made several years ago, the motion of my brush to make those squiggling and moving liquid lines in the act of making it is more of the art form than the actual final work that somebody might look at later. And if you can see, there's really a lot of detail in the way that I've done that. Abstract expressionist painters were very commonly prone to not use traditional medium like brushes. They would use things like sticks and palette knives to make their paintings with. And we're going to show you a little bit of how that would be done. The goal of an abstract expressionist painter is more to get their personal feelings and ideas through the medium in an automatic manner rather than a thought-through manner. The abstract expressionist painter, as you can see from this blank canvas, does not pre-draw an image because the abstract expressionist painter denies the image. The painting is not about the image, it's about the process. So really the first thing an abstract expressionist painter would do, and Lulu, if you could help me out here with this, would be to choose the medium and the instrument they'd like to work with first. What speaks to them? And Lulu, if you'd go to our palette here and pick out a tool that speaks to you and maybe put some color on it that you personally are feeling right now.
So I feel,
All right, the brush.
yeah,
And why don't you dip that in some color?
yeah.
And go right to this canvas here and, you know, let out your feeling with that brush and allow the brush to paint itself through you. So go ahead and add some paint to that painting there. And you may just continue to grab some paint from the palette and add as you please to the painting. This is our live audience here. Her name is Nova. Nova is a unruly German Shepherd.
Yes.
All right, Lulu,
Yeah.
and the painting. So now why don't you try one of the other implements on the palette? Maybe try mixing some colors. I always encourage my students to mix color. So if you could.
I would go with the palette. It's much more easier for me to mix the colors.
On the palette,
Yeah, I'm gonna use this.
you're going to use the palette knife. Okay.
So I'm gonna swirl up some red, white, and the yellow.
Okay, why don't you bring that over?
Okay.
That's okay, we'll pick that up. And show my students how you would use a palette knife to add to your painting. Smearing the color as you will.
It's like a cool kind of rainbow. As you see, it's like you're trying. It's like the palette will allow you to make really cool rainbows because it's flat, not like a brush. But you can do it with a brush, but you have to be really careful what colors you use.
Yeah. And with the palette knife, You can also get images that do not show the brush lines and separate yourself from the artwork as more of a gesture than it would be a painting. If we cut into what we leave, we can make these lines.
Yep.
And abstract expressionist painters were very common to scratch through their paint and to use palette knives. Now, another technique that abstract expressionist painters used was to water down their paint.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take some of this black here that we have, and I'm going to add some water to it and make the paint kind of liquid. And I'm looking to make a paint that'll splash a little bit.
Yeah.
Because one of the common goals of an abstract expressionist painter is to really be able to show what they're doing and to be able to release themselves. And the best way to release yourself is to not touch the painting. Lulu, you might want to step back for this one.
Okay.
Splattering paint was often something that abstract expressionist painters were very involved in, was how can we use gesture and splatter to really add to our paintings and to fill things in. Some artists, even notably actually Jackson Pollock, would use such a liquid paint that he could dribble it and drizzle it onto the painting himself. We're not going to do that today. Let's get some more water on here. And maybe just show how that splattering can happen. An abstract expressionist painter would continue to paint with the painting until everything is completely finished. There is no end to a painting. A painting is done when you feel it's finished. This could be a finished work, but we might want to work with this until we have a full amount of paint on the surface. Something more like one of Lulu's paintings here, where she's really completely filled in the surface. And I'd like you to look at how she uses black. And that's really a very strong color to use to fill in and to fully use the entire canvas. I'm going to show another one of Lulu's paintings here that she's done in an abstract expressionist manner. Nova wants to be an abstract expressionist apparently as well. And she will continue to work on this painting until she feels that it's completed. Now she's getting some splashing going as well. So what I would ask for you as a project is to try, if you have these materials, to make your own abstract expressionist painting. Notice we put a tarp on the ground to protect ourselves from any possible spilling. And we have the studio space to be able to do this. And I understand that most of you don't, and that's fine. If you can find a place to be able to work like this, and you do have paints, either acrylics or possibly watercolor, this can be done. But if you do not have these materials, I'd like to show you another way that we can do this with things that I'm pretty sure you all have. Please don't mind my outdoor sink that's a little dirty. But I have some things that I'm sure you all have. Ketchup, mustard. Maybe you don't have Romulade sauce, but I'm sure that you have ketchup and mustard. And you could take these items and make your own plate art in an abstract expressionist manner, possibly squirting. Always remember to shake your mustard before you use it. You don't want the water coming out. And a very interesting abstract expressionist artwork can be made. Hang on, it's going to take me a little bit to pry this open here. Fish sauce. And a cool painting can be made with such simple things as condiments and a butter knife. I encourage you to try at least one of these at home, and let's see what you get. I am really looking forward to the amazing artworks that you might make, whether they are paint or mustard and ketchup. All right, this is Mr. Magaro, and I look forward to you guys. And I just want to say how awesome the artwork I've been getting from you guys has been, and how great it's been to be able to give you guys artwork project to do at home and to see these successes you're making. And we're all doing great in the crazy situation that we never could have expected. And I'm proud of you guys for staying home and working through this. And the emails I've received and the artwork that I've gotten has just been great, and just been a testament to how wonderful you guys all are as students and as people. And I just look forward to the day that we can see each other again, and that we can make art in the classroom. And whenever that is, it will be. And until then, I'm going to start giving you guys some video lessons along with my assistant, Miss Lulu, and her wonderful works of art. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing your artwork. Bye-bye.